What I really like about the movie is even though the characters is pretty non-standard in terms of your typical Hollywood protagonist, I think we have to approach them the same way that any other movie does, because even though someone who's watching who's not gay or is not Asian can still really relate to it, you know, because the theme of the movie is a lot of it is about being trapped and finding your place in the world, and I think that's something that's very universal.
It's organic to the point where it's talking about the relationship, and you know, a lot of people can see that, but the gay audience more attaches to that. With this film, with Quentin, he's really quirky, and it's just entertaining from beginning to end.
I felt it was a bit of a trick question every time someone asked you, you know, what audience do you make a movie for? Because as a filmmaker, you want to make a movie as universal as possible.
Well, when we took the film to Italy, to the Torino Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, I was curious as to how a European audience would react to the film, because the film's set in an American setting, and we'd screened the film for people in Asia before, but never in Europe. So I was really happily surprised. The audience was very receptive, and they applauded, you know, both screenings, and I just really got a sense that they were able to identify with the film, even though the characters were Asian, and it was in a completely different setting. That the themes about family dysfunction and about finding love were definitely universal.
But I think on this particular film that it was like probably the best crew and the best staff that I've worked with and best cast, and it's mostly because I think everybody came to the movie, you know, for the right reason, and they really wanted to do it.
We have very good relationship every day when we go on the set. It's an intimate set, and we hang around the wardrobe room and, you know, outside the courtyard, and then we just have stories. You know, we're just like a real family. That's very nice.
Everybody I'm working with is like such an awesome actor, and everybody's just such a family, and everybody's so much fun to work with. Everybody's just hanging out and talking, and just get a lot of, like I said, like you really get like the sense of family.
Chemistry on the set, it was great. We just all came together. I've never been on a set that was just so friendly and nurturing and just like this family-oriented, like we all worked hard together, we pushed each other. You know, like I learned so much from Raymond Ma. He was, you know, he was explaining camera angles to me. On my first feature film, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. There's a camera this way and a camera this way. Ah! So, but it's just a great learning experience for all of us, and we still keep in touch.
We kind of created like a little family atmosphere with among the cast members and the crew. You know, a lot of people were kind of green. They didn't have a whole lot of experience, but they were very passionate about the project, and you could tell that they just wanted to be there.
The cast just fit perfectly. Everybody except for Raymond actually was at the callback audition with me, and even though I read with two different families, this family was just like the perfect family that I just had in mind to want to work with.
The casting process for the movie was very serendipitous, because for Junie, actually he was the only person who could have done that part. Junie was the only one who, you know, had the right look and the feel, and also the sensitivity, and also just the talent to do this, because, you know, obviously whoever that played Ethan Mao had to carry the entire movie, and there was nobody else but Junie. And I've got to say that, you know, everyone else on the cast was basically our first choice. When we went through the auditions, they basically walked in and they were the right person, especially someone like Julia Nixon, who just walked in and she was a stepmom.
My stepson was a homosexual and psychopath.
I've known Quentin Lee since we were at UCLA Film School together, and always been a fan of his work as a writer and as a director, so I'd basically be willing to work on any project he did.
There's just something about being in a Quentin Lee project that just really gets the actor really into it. He takes his time with each and every single one of the actors.
He was just so personal, you know? I struggled with finding my character. I struggled with understanding the script. And I was like, Quentin, I wrote him this email. I was like, Quentin, I know you're busy, pre-production. I know you're working so hard, but I was just wondering if you could spare me just a little time to help me out. He calls me back and he's just like, yeah, you know, let's hang out sometime and like let's, you know, let's go out to the club and you can experience it firsthand. And it was just what I needed.
Quentin was just always there and just like, I don't know, he just seemed like he wanted me on the shoot. He didn't know exactly what I was gonna go out for, but it just really seemed like Quentin really saw like some sort of talent in me, and like I really appreciate that.
Working for him, you know, it's great because he has shot stuff. He does have his own, you know, photographic sensibilities. It's not like certain directors where they just talk to the actors and the director decides every single shot and, you know, setup. Quentin has very clear ideas, which, you know, really helped me contribute.
People came to Ethan Mao because they liked the script and they were really passionate about the project. And I'd have to say passion is something that money can't buy.
But I think that, you know, making a film independently, it's great because it really, you know, on a very small budget, it really, you know, gives you so much freedom to do whatever you want to do. And I've got to say that, you know, on Ethan Mao, I actually got to make the movie however the way that I liked it, and that's really important for me.